So in the last session, we were discussing about the order of operations. So we left with one task. Let me continue with that task. So in the order of operations, my next task is, I would like to show the top 3 cities in each and every county with the reference line for the overall average and the county average. So we have seen the forecasting, same like the visualization. We can add the reference lines and the trend lines. Okay, so the reference lines are nothing but the benchmark lines. Let me show you how to add a reference line. I'm connected to a data source. For example, I'm taking continent and I'm taking profit. To this visualization, if you add some line or you add some benchmark line here, let's say I would like to add a benchmark line for the average of total profits. If you want to add a benchmark line for the average of total profits, you can add that reference line by using the analytics pane, dragging the reference line and dropping into the view. We have to select the scope here as you're having only one table or one pane. Both would give the same output. I'm going to the table, just add table. So by default it is adding the reference line for the average of total profit. In label means what the value it is showing. It is showing the value as computation because it will perform the competition as average, right? Instead of showing only that label, if you want to show the value along with the computation, here we are having an option called as custom. Just go to custom. In custom here specify competition equals to value. In custom specify competition equals to value, and in the line just select the line, just select the required line and hit OK. Now here this time going to act as the benchmark line or the target line, and it is showing us how many continents here have reached the target or that particular benchmark. So these type of lines are called as the reference lines. So we can here modify the reference line by coloring here by coloring above in one color. Let me click on fill above, select one color, and here we click on fill below and we can click on here the other color. So we can do fill below in one color or we can do fill above in the other color. So we can add the required formatting like this, and like we can do for the required pane also. Here I'm taking year and order date. Here I'm taking year and order date, and I'm taking here, let's say, profit. I would like to do for every year. So how to do it for every year? Every year means what? One pane. So how to do it for every year means the other way. One way to add the reference means just click on analytics pane, drag the reference and drop it into the view. Or the other way is just simply right click on the axis, click on add reference lines, and here select the reference line and select scope as per pane. Okay, select scope as per pane and add the label as custom. In custom add competition equals to value and use the required line. I'm using the dotted lines. I'm selecting the required color. Click on OK. So it is the average for 2010 and it is the average for 2011, 2012 and 2013. Here the average is. Here Q3 also below the average. So only Q4 average is more than the average of, okay, it is more than the average of all the quarters. See, only in the 3 years 2010, 2011, 2011, 2012, Q4 has passed the average of all the values. In 2013, even Q3 and Q4 has reached the average of all the quarters. So it's about the reference. Just to add just to add the benchmark lines. And to the visualization, we can add some advanced kind of distributions by using the reference bands. Using the reference band, just we can able to add the shading within some range. Reference band going to the second type of reference is reference band. Okay, along with the references, the second type of references is reference band, where we can able to perform the shading by taking some range. Let me add. And before adding the reference band, even to this visualization, we can add one more reference line also. Okay, to one visualization, we can add n number of reference lines. So here I am dragging the reference line. Now here I would like to add a reference line for the overall average. I am dragging the reference line and I am dropping into table. So I am adding a reference line for the overall average. I am taking the scope as entire table, and in the line I am selecting the required line. Okay, so in the label, again go to custom, take here computation equals to value. So now it is the overall average, whereas this average indicates the yearly average. Or for the average, now this for the overall average, let me add a continuous line. For the overall average, let me add a continuous line. Hit OK. So it is the overall average benchmark. Now to this visualization, let me add a reference band. Drag reference and drop it into the view. So basically banding means shading, okay? It is going to perform the shading. It is going to perform the shading within one range. It is going to perform the shading within one range by taking the start value and the end value. So in band from, I'm taking the average of total profits, and in band 2 I'm taking the maximum of total profits. And if you want to add a line, we can add a line for that range. We can add the line for that range also. Just hit OK. Okay, now it is the average value and it is the maximum value. So in this way we can able to add the reference band also. So basically banding means shading by selecting the required range. And even using the distribution also we can able to perform a similar kind of shading. Even the distribution also we can able to perform a similar kind of shading by taking some kind of computations like percentage, percentile, quantile, standard deviation. So if you want to add the 60 to 80%, we can add, and if you want to add a percentile, we can add, if you want to add a quantile, we can able to add, and if you want to add the standard deviation, we can able to add. So about these computations already we discussed in the advanced calculations. But usually in the real time, most of the time we will go for the reference lines only. Okay, so in that way here, my requirement is to add the reference line. Here my requirement is to add the reference line. So to indicate the top 3 cities in each and every county, and I have to show the reference line for the overall average and for the county average. Okay, so let me build that visualization. Let me build that visualization. Let me build that visualization. I'm removing this. So I'm taking county and I'm taking city, and in fact I'm taking here total. Here I'm taking total, okay. So now here how to get the overall average. If you want to get the overall average, you have to make use of table calculation It is one way. So just go to overall average and take here window underscore average of sum of total. Click on apply, click on OK. Now drag that overall average and drop it into the view. So the overall average is 961,317. Next, how to get the county average? It's same. Just duplicate. Name it as county average. The logic is same, but just you have to change the addressing to pane down. Drag the county average. So this county average is also computing in the table down way. Just set compute using to pane down. Just set the compute using to pane down. So here we got total, overall average and county average. So these are the values. So here the requirement is to show these values using the reference lines. So not like this. So I'm removing this overall average and county average from here. I'm taking my total into the visualization. So here I'm showing in the form of a bar chart. Here I'm showing in the form of a bar chart. So I would like to show that value, okay, for the top three products or for the top three cities. So how to get the top three here? We want to get the top three. Just create a calculate field with the name top, or take your rank. Okay, take your rank. So I'm finding the rank using the index. I'm finding the rank here using index. Just click on apply and click on OK. So before adding the rank, let me add the reference line for the overall average and county average. So how to add reference line? Just go to analytics, drag reference line. I'm adding per table to get the overall average. So basically what the reference lines will do means the reference line they're going to add the benchmark lines along the available axis. So now here which axis is available? Now here only this total axis is available. So here we can able to add the reference line only for the total value. We click on drop down. We cannot here we cannot see that overall average or county average. So basically the other definition of the reference line is reference lines they will identify the distribution of values along the axis. So if I right click on the axis, here if you want to add a reference line on the profit axis means it won't show us here the sale here, because as here we are having the profit axis, it is going to show only profit. It won't show us the sales here, right? So then how to add the sales distribution benchmark on the profit axis? Is it possible or not? Yes. If you want to add any other measure, on the second measure axis in the form of a reference line, those measures must be part of the visualization. So here we have to drag and drop the required measure and drop it into detail. Just drag the sales and drop it into detail. If you drag that measure and if you drop it into detail, now we can able to add the value distribution using sales. Okay. Now we right click on the axis. We go to add reference line. You click on value. Now here we can able to add the reference line based on sales also, because now here I'm on the sales on the detail. So basically what will happen if you click on the detail means it is going to give us the detailed information. So but the level of detail will be added by dimensions, not by measures. Even though if you add any measure it won't add any level of detail to the visualization. We remove the sales, right click on the profit axis, we go to add reference line. Now here we can able to see only profit. Now the sales is not available. So if you want to add any reference line on the other measure which is not part of the view, we need to drag and drop that measure and drop into detail. Now here I can able to add the reference line. Here I can able to add the reference line against the second measure called as sales. Similarly here I would like to add the reference line for the two fields. What are the overall average and the county average? Just drag those two fields, county average and next the overall average, and drop it into detail. So how to modify the reference line? Just right click on the reference line. If you add any reference line, it is going to show us one option called as edit reference line. Click on this edit reference line. Now click on this drop down. If you click on this drop down here, we can able to see county average and the overall average. Click on county average and select the scope as per pane because we want for every pane. And to differentiate the lines for one, select the dotted lines, click on OK. So let me add the value here. So for pane, in label just take here custom and select here competition equals to value, hit OK. So it is computing, it is giving the same value. See here, it is giving the same average value. Click on this county average, again it is computing in the table down. Just compute in the pane down way. Okay, just compute in the pane down way. So it is giving us the average. It is giving us the average for every pane. Now similarly add for the overall average. So right click on the axis, add reference line, scope as entire table, and here select the overall average. Here I can select custom, select here competition equals to value. Click on OK. Now this green line indicates the overall average. So now here we got the overall average as well as the county average. So now let's see here what is the overall average value. The overall average value is 961,000, and for example if you take this particular county, so this county average is 17,506. Let me show only top 3. So how to get only top 3? Once drag the rank and drop it into the rows. Just go to edit table calculation as we want to get for every county. We have to go to advanced. In advanced we have to select county and set into addressing. Here why I am placing county in the top means because here you want to restart for every county. Okay, here you want to restart for every county to get the top 3 cities in that county. So in the sort, just select by field. In sort, just select by field, and here select the total sum descending. Here I am selecting total sum descending. Hit OK and restart for every county. Just click on apply, click on OK. Now just convert this rank to discrete. Okay, and in the rank show filter and just here select only top 3. Just select only top 3 and remove the rank here. So it is the default way of doing this particular task. So now if you see here the overall average is good, 961,000. And what about the county average? The county average is same. So finally Here, as here I'm having so many counties, let me show only the required county. I'm showing the county filter. Let's say, for example, I would like to show only this Benton. So for Benton, okay, for Benton, so for Benton, if you see any value, for Benton, I think, yeah. So the county average is 248,000 and overall average is 961,000. Here, let me select only Benton. If I click on Benton, it is showing us, it is showing the overall average as, it is showing the overall average as 248,000 and county average also as 248,000. So county average 248,000, that is correct. But what about the overall average? Overall average is 961,000, right? But it is showing overall average as 248,000. Let me click on all. So we go to Benetton here. So here what is the overall average? So after applying the filter, again here we got the overall average as 961,000. So it means what is happening here? Here if I perform filter here, okay, the complete values are changing. See the complete overall average values are changing. So what is happening here? If I click on any other county, okay, again the overall average value got changed. So what will happen? Okay, what will happen means here I have applied two things. One is the dimension filter on county and next is the reference line. So first, which one will compute? If you add the reference line and if you take okay the dimension filter, first which one will compute? So if you take the reference line and if you take if you see the execution, here I have taken two things. The two things are, one is the dimension filter. So first the dimension filter. So here the dimension filter is county. First the dimension filter will compute and after that the reference line will compute. Okay, after that the reference lines will compute. It means what? After applying the filtering, if you select one county, on that county values, after applying the filter, if you select one county, on that county values, it is applying the reference lines. Okay, it is applying the reference lines. So it means the reference lines are computing at the bottom. The reference lines are computing at the bottom. So how to compute the reference lines before the filter? How to compute the reference lines before the filter? So if you want to maintain the same value means, even though if you apply filter, if you want to maintain the same value means, so we have to compute the reference lines before the dimension filter. So how to compute? How to compute means we have to make use of fixed LOD. We have to make use of fixed LOD to compute the reference lines before dimension filter, because the fixed LOD will execute before the dimension filters. So let me duplicate this to show you the difference. Let me go to the sheet. So just remove this overall average and county average. So just try to obtain that overall average and county average using LOD. So I'm taking first the county average. So how to get the county average? I'm using LOD. I'm using fixed LOD. First I'm taking fixed city sum of total. Just here I'm obtaining city wise total revenue. On that I'm finding the average value. So how to find the average value? Fixed county colon average of this complete expression. So here what I am taking is, here in my inner LOD I am taking city wise total revenue and I am fixing that at each and every county level. It is going to fix at each and every county level and it is going to give us each and every county wise each and every county wise average of total revenue. Average of total revenue. So it is going to count, it is going to find out what is, it is going to find out city wise total revenue, and on the city wise total revenue here we have one more fixed, right? So it is going to fix at county level. So finally it is going to give us county wise county wise average total revenue of all the cities in that county. So county average LOD. Just click on apply, click on OK. Drag that county average LOD and drop it into detail. Similarly, compute average, overall average. So how to compute overall average? So to compute overall average, first find out the total value for every county and city. So I'm computing fixed county comma city sum of total. Here just I'm computing county wise, city wise. Here just I'm computing county wise, city wise total revenue. County wise, city wise total revenue. So here I want to get the average of all the counties and cities. So here I'm taking here one more LOD in the form of table scope LOD, and here I want to get the overall means what overall table. So I'm taking here table scope by taking here average of this. So it is going to compute. So basically this NLOD is going to compute county wise, city wise total revenue, and on the top of it I'm finding the average. Average at which level? Average at the complete table level. It means at the complete data source. So it is going to compute county wise, city wise, okay, the total revenue. So for each county and the city, it is going to compute for all the counties and cities, and on the whole it is finding the average for all the values, because here we don't have any dimensionality, and here we don't have any LOD keyword. Just here we are having only the brackets which indicates the table scope LOD. Just click on apply and click on OK. Once drag that overall average and drop it into detail. Now let's try to add the reference line. So how to add reference line? Just simply go to add reference line. Okay, just select the scope as entire table and select overall average. Select the required line. Select the required color, and in label just show only the value. Hit OK. So what is the overall average of 961,317? And let's add the county average. So how to add the county average? Just again right click on the axis, add reference lines, select the scope as per pane, and select county average, and in completion just click on value, and in line just click on the dotted lines. Okay, select the required color, click on OK. So now this dotted line are giving us at the particular county level. So what is the average of all the cities in this Benetton county? 248. But what about the overall average? 961. Here the average for that county is 3.2. So here just I have performed the filter, right? Let me apply all the values. Even though we apply all the values, the overall average is same, and the county average, for example, if we see the Benetton average is 248,586, and for the Black Hack the county average is 3.28 million, and the overall average is 961,000, right? So if we uncheck county, and if we click on the Black Hack, and if we click on the Benetton, so here it is maintaining the same values. The overall average is 961,000, and next here, okay, the county average is 248,000. So it is maintaining the same values. So what is happening here? Now here what is happening is, so here we have the reference lines and the rank function using index and the trend lines, right? So for the, sorry, on the, and the reference lines. So here for the reference lines, we are giving the values. Here for the reference lines, we are giving the values by using the fixed LOD. So first the LOD will compute. After computing the LOD, even though if you add any dimension filter, as already it is computing before the dimension filter, as already the values are computing before the dimension filter, even though if you add any filter, it is going to maintain the same value. And after applying the filter, it is giving us the required reference line. Just the line, okay? So this reference line, we are obtaining the value using what? Fixed value. And finally, we are adding what? The index, right? So it is one way of doing this. It is one way of doing this. And using, and without using the reference line also, we can able to achieve that output. Without using this reference line also, we can able to achieve this output. So we go to the reference line, use the table calculation. If we use the table calculation, the table calculations, they're going to give us the different values here. It is giving us a county value correct, but the overall average value is different. Whereas if we use the LODs, it is giving the correct output. So here, without using the default reference line option, without using the default reference line option, how to add the reference lines? Okay, here I don't want to add the reference line in the default way, but I would like to add the reference line to the visualization. So how to achieve that? So here just I'm removing this particular things from my detail. Just I'm placing the overall average, okay, the county average LOD to the other end of the total axis. Here I'm placing county average LOD to the other end of the total axis, and I'm taking overall average LOD. I'm taking overall average LOD to the county average LOD axis. So here just I'm performing the axis blending. Here just I'm performing the axis blending. So to get the overall average, county average, and the total. And I don't want to show the measure values here. Let me, sorry, I don't want to show the measure names here. Let me remove the measure names. I'm removing the measure names. So here for the total, I'm selecting the bar chart, and for the measure values, I'm selecting the line chart. For the measure values here, I'm selecting the line chart. So immediately after clicking on the line chart, here it is giving us a reference line kind of thing. It is giving us a county average and it is giving us the overall average here. So let me show you again. So without using the reference line, how to get the reference line option means using the combination axis charts. These are also known as the combination axis charts. So here we have combined line chart plus bar chart, and here dual axis plus axis blending. So if you add the reference line also, we have got the same output. Okay, we have got the same output. So if you want to maintain the same scale on both the ends means just simply right click on second axis and click on synchronize axis and click on the synchronize axis. So it is maintaining the same scale on both the ends. It is maintaining the same scale on both the ends, and it is giving us the reference lines. So let me show you again. So how to build this means just remove everything. Just take only county, city, total, and here I'm applying the rank to the top 3. Next, just take the overall average LOD and drop it into other end of the total axis to perform the dual axis. And to the overall average LOD, drag the county average LOD and drop it into that axis. Here we got the measure value. Just remove the measure name from the view, and in the measure values, Just in the drop down, click on line. In the drop down, click on line. So here the axis scale is different on both the ends. Just maintain the same scale using synchronize axis. And here we got the reference lines kind of on. So if we add any value, it is going to add the reference lines here. So let me click on the presentation mode. Just keep on adding like this. So how to build the reference lines without using the reference line option means just simply by using the combination axis chance. Just simply by using the combination axis chance. So it is also one important task. So it's all about the order of operations. So in real time, every day, we will follow this order of operations. In real time, every day we'll follow this order of operations. So this query pipeline is at most important. Okay, this query pipeline is at most important. Okay. So any questions on this particular order of operations, guys? Any questions on this order of operations?